Daylight, my MVVs, welcome.
It's also been rumored that Queen Naomi's family were thankful as Oyo State governor, ordered his men to reduce Queen Naomi's, back and forth movement to, the police station in Ibadan. As they said, she collapsed in police CID over stress. They said Ooni of Ife raised the alarm after this happened. That she's been so stressed out. That the kind of stress that Queen Naomi has been through is something that nobody had ever thought would have happened under the circumstances. Knowing that Queen Naomi meant well for those children and all of that, she has been really stressed out. This thing happened on the 18th of December. From that 18th up until as I am speaking to you today, Queen Naomi has been going back and forth. On that 18th night, Queen Naomi was very sick, as we heard that she even collapsed in her house, there in Akure, and she was rushed to the hospital. And she stayed in the hospital from that rare hours of the morning. She stayed until 10 a.m. in the morning. She was very, like she wanted to go back to Ibadan, She had to go to Ibadan. They all presented themselves to the police. Of course, it's not as if we have been hearing that they have been arrested. It's not as if Queen Naomi was in her house. Somebody, they now went to go and catch her. No, she was the one who submitted herself with her crew to the police station, okay? Now, from that day up until now, it's been back and forth movement, because, of course, you do know that the police are going to do their job, which is the right thing to do. And this is the same thing Nigerians are saying, that police should do due diligence and also do their job, no matter who is involved. Yes, and they said the Ibadan police, CID, have been commended for doing their job diligently, right? And so they are investigating the case, trying to find out what was involved and why that had to happen and why this number of children had to go. Were there hoodlums? Some people said there were a lot of hoodlums. Of course, we do agree that there were hoodlums, because if there were no hoodlums, who was the person, or who were the person who boozed that MC like that, collected phones, almost stripped him naked and all of that? They said these were the work of the hoodlums. And who are these hoodlums? Because they are eyewitnesses and people who are living around that vicinity and people who are living in Ibadan there are able to pinpoint 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 members of this hoodlum community that they found who started that problem. Well, as we have heard, as it's been narrated, they said, okay, this is what we got, that, they were supposed to admit 5,000 people. The preparation that was made for the event was for 5,000 children, okay? And the food for 5,000 children, the money they were supposed to share the budget was for 5,000 children. And apparently, people went and some people slept there. They said there was a woman with 3 children that had gone there 2 days before that time. They sent them away because Islamic school has a fence, has a principal and all of that. They sent them away. Now, the night before the event, okay, women and children were around the fence and they were hanging around the fence, and they said because they saw that there became so many, they had to open the gates for the women to come in. So apparently there were women and children inside the school before that morning. Then that morning, as early as 6, when they started counting, they found out that the people there were over 5,000, as in 5,000. So they had to take the ones that they could take, okay? And then when the people who were hanging outside the gate saw that, they may not be able to come in again as they were trying to lock the gate. The authorities were trying to lock the gate. That was when they started, the area boys came and all of that. They started pushing, rushing towards the collection center, trying to collect stuff and all. That was when this event happened. They beat up that man, the MC, for trying to lock the gate, beat him up mercilessly and all of that. All of these things happen, right? But of course, we do know that something ignited that level of stampede that, took the lives of 30-something children. Now, Queen Naomi made mention in her broadcast, I saw that broadcast myself, where she said it's between 6 to 10 years, and she increased it to 12 years, okay? But unfortunately, most of the people who were there were adults who are able to fend for themselves, adults who are up to 20-something, young men and women were all over the place. And you agree with me that if these were just children, the damage would not have been this much. I do know that guardians are supposed to be there with their children. This is not the first time Queen Naomi will be organizing an event like this. She knows the dynamics. But however, they said because of what happened, that investigation has to go on. And Queen Naomi, being the principal, is needed in the police station. And she's been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Left and right, left and right. She is exhausted. She's devastated. She is mourning these children. She is crying. She's not eating and all of that. And this will take a toll on her. And this is exactly what happened. They said when she left and went back to the police station the next morning, she was there, seated there until 12 o'clock. Around 12 o'clock, they said she slumped. And she was rushed to the hospital. And, with this, they said the governor, that Ooni of Ife raised the lamb. He was displeased about this situation. This is what we are hearing. And he called on the governor. And they said before Ooni will even call, the governor had taken a drastic measure to ensure that this doesn't happen again. And they said that the governor has asked his men to, slow down and take this thing one day at a time. That she's already stressed up and all that they need to take it easy on her. Now, this is a woman who, did so much the entire month up until this time she was preparing for this event. Events to please your children, put smiles on your children's faces and all of that. Today, if the bereaved family is crying and feeling really bitter over what has happened and asking for justice, nobody will blame them. Because, yes, they are pained, they are bereaved, they don't know what to do right now. But you, who is not bereaved, who was probably not even there, dragging this issue, asking for justice, she must go to jail. The government must do something. If they don't do something, it will not be fair. Which witchcraft is more than that? Which wickedness is more than that? Even after knowing her intention from the very beginning, people are terrible. Human beings are terrible. See the way everybody's mouth just changed from Queen Naomi, our sweetheart, Queen Naomi, our beautiful queen, Queen Naomi this, Queen Naomi that, to Queen Naomi is a ritual. Queen Naomi, they use these children for ritual. Queen Naomi this, Queen Naomi that. It was a stampede that was ignited by a situation. And people need to understand that and understand that this was never, ever the intention of Olori Naomi. However, they said the family is thankful over the decision of the governor. I'm going to bring you more updates. Do not forget, these are all alleged, rumored, and speculated information making the rounds on social media.